What's up, Jordan Downs? Y'all tuned in to Great Street TV. And we gonna hop in this review today. We gonna talk about gangs, and gangs politics, and how the OGs changed the game. So if you ain't hit that like or that subscribe button yet, you need to be doing so. If not, like OG Bobby Johnson said in South Central, it's an OG call, man. I'm keeping it.
This is an OG call.
Tap in.
I'm keeping it.
What's up? Jordan Downs, man. Y'all already know the deal. Y'all tuned in to Great Street TV. And we gonna hop in this review today. We gonna talk about gangs, politics, and how the OGs changed the game and how the game is today. So I got a clip of an OG conducting himself in some type of way that he shouldn't be conducting himself. Like he's on the bus, he's getting high, he's snorting coke, his kids in the background. It's all type of shit going on. It's fuckery. But check this clip out, and I'm gonna zero back in on the situation, and we're gonna break it down to the very last compound. Y'all already know the deal. So tap into this clip right here, and we're gonna jump right back to it. Tap in.
You ain't getting that, you ain't getting that, nigga. Shut the fuck up, you ain't getting that. You ain't getting that, nigga. You ain't getting that, this nigga. You ain't getting that, you ain't getting that. Sell that for 40 bucks right there in your pocket, nigga. Don't touch it, come to line, nigga. Cocaine, fucking. Cocaine, motherfucker. Get that shit, nigga. Get that shit, nigga.
As you see, he has no respect for the youth. Look at the kids just sitting there looking at the little boy tapping his little brother like, man, don't look. This shit crazy. Check it out. Now, as y'all see, this dude has clearly lost his mind. Drugs done fucked him up. Who little homie is this? Check it out, though. Straight up, man.
They said it's fucking cocaine, motherfucker. No crystal meth, no fucking crack, motherfucker. Now say something now, nigga. I'm push something to me, cuz. I'm turned up, nigga. Say something now, cuz. Right. Fuck what's good for crack. Motherfucker, your mind, cuz. Fuck on, cuz. Ooh, that's nasty, cuz. Ooh, that's nasty, cuz. Cocaine's a nasty ass drug, cuz. Cuz, high, cuz. Leave me the fuck alone, cuz. Red light stop, okay? Damn, cuz. Leave me the fuck alone, ain't.
Yeah, now that y'all see, like I say, the game has changed. So this is a trait that was brought along from back in the day. So we gonna get into the OG situation, the foundation of the games, because the old heads is the ones that started and set the platform. So, you know, when I was growing up, like I was able to grow up in the 80s to where I was able to see what was going on and realize and embrace the shit that was coming to the gang culture. So, you know, back in the day, you had your powerhouses, your OGs, your Tookie Williams, your Raymond Washingtons. Everybody had those type of spokesmen that was doing something for the community, you know, keeping the hood where it's supposed to be at, keeping the politics going, keeping the structure alive. And then you had these guys that were struck by the drug culture. See, back in the days, it was a lot of OGs that were smoking sherm and smoking dope, smoking primos and shit like that. So I was growing up and I was looking at this shit. Like, as you see, as the guy on the bus, he's done lost it. This comes down from generations of doing drugs. So now they're into like crystal, coke. They snorting it like it's normal. He's on the bus, he's snorting coke. He's all in front of the kids. He fake turned up. And those are the guys that was getting knocked down and still knocked down to this day, that comes with the loud mouths and gets their hood in certain situations. So yeah, the drug culture fucked the gang culture up. It came in and a lot of people lost their minds because, as you see, it's a lot of weak-minded people that grew up in these communities and they choose the gangbang for protection or just being follow the leader. So, like I said, it's not a lot of strong-minded men in the community anymore because majority of them never had a father growing up, so the streets raised them. And back in the days, people's mama was dating all type of weirdos and people that had names, so-called names. So some of the gangbangers that was niggas back in the days, they start getting high off shit. So now you introducing these people to your kids, and these kids are looking at these men like, this is the way to gangbang. This is what I want to do. I want to sag. I want to smoke sherm. I want to do like these niggas do. Like, so a lot of niggas got caught up in that type of cycle. So I was just blessed to be around the real OGs, where I was born into structure. I was born into this. I wasn't raised and just decided to jump into this type of shit. You know, my parents was doing this shit as I was growing up. So basically I was born into it. So this is why I'm here to sit here and tell these type of stories. So like I said, a lot of the OGs was smoking sherm, smoking crack, know what I mean, hanging out, doing bullshit, breaking their houses, stealing from their homies. You had those type of scandalous homies, but a lot of people that was growing up really had their eyes focused on these people. See, to nowadays, the gang structure is fucked up. The culture is all fucked up. Like, so a lot of us OGs don't want to get involved with some of the youth because we have our own kids, grandkids, and family members, cousins, and little homies that want to do right, that we taking up under our wing, and we trying to steer them the right way. So I can't waste my time trying to fix somebody that don't want to be fixed and feel like can't nobody tell them like nothing, and you want to get high. So I can't throw my life away and get wiped off the streets and leave my real peoples and my real family behind, my kids behind, because I'm chasing behind the community. So therefore, we're going to get into this other clip, and we're going to come at this situation from all angles, because this is a topic that really needs to be touched. It's a lot of OGs get on here and they glorify what they did back in the days, and they glorify this gang shit set as politics, and a lot of them ain't even following the G code. So I feel like a lot of these cats can't even get on here and speak and talk how they talking. So we're going to get into this next clip, and we're going to zero back in on the situation. Tap in.
Just like the lady said, some sick individual did something real stupid. Now they're trying to blame it on the whole community, and it's nothing like that. We've been trying to live with our Mexican people, man, because that's what it's about. You know, it ain't us against them, it's us against y'all.
Now, let's go back to the very beginning. You're saying there isn't racial tension here. The media's been blowing it. Let's hear from you a little bit about that, because we want to get it straight.
You know, well, for us, y'all say like it's racial tension. The Mexicans been in here for over a year. Ain't nothing like this ever happened. Nope. You know, we see a few black brothers, you know, trying to rob Mexicans, you know, disrespecting the ladies. Man, we stops all that shit, man, before that shit even gets started, because we do not want the LAPD and the sheriffs down here with that bullshit they be pulling every night. Just like last night, the police come through here in unmarked cars. They like 4 police jumped out the car. Then nobody know they was police. They had guns out. They went to telling everyone to come here. People went to looking at them like, you know, what is y'all doing? You know, what y'all trying to do? Have a shootout with us or something? You know, what y'all trying to kill somebody black over here because of what happened? You know, everybody not all off into this. We sympathize with the people just like everybody else. We don't know who did it. You know, y'all have to do your job and find out, you know, and catch the person.
One more question then. You're saying that the media is really making things worse by reporting about racial tension. Why is that?
Because they don't know what they're talking about. They don't know what they're talking about.
They're reporting about racial tension.
Okay, we gonna jump into the structure of the situation. We gonna jump into the racial attention. See, back in the days, it wasn't too much racial attention when it came to like the blacks and the Hispanics. They didn't really clash like that. They had their few run-ins where, you know, it's gonna be the youth doing stupid shit, running around robbing people, jacking people, socking people, you know. They had a, like when I was growing up, they had a day going on Friday. Some people called it Mexican Friday. They was fine on Mexicans, you know. But my section and people that came from where I came from looked at that as weak, because at the end of the day, we lived around these people. These people was our neighbors. So we became like a low-ball family. Like, we wasn't blood, but it was like we was family. We was helping each other. If we was out and some blacks was jumping on a Latino, guess what? We know him. We gonna go over there and whoop them niggas. We gonna whoop him. We gonna help him. Or we gonna get whooped with him. But that was just a different type of guidelines and community rules that we grew up on. Like nowadays, they'll watch you. People just pull their phones out. Look, woo, you know what I mean? You could know these people for years. They gonna whip them phones out. Back in the days, you weren't fucking with nobody in our community. It don't matter what color you was. Like in that clip, they was explaining, the lady was saying, the Hispanic lady was explaining to the newscast that her daughters got jumped and her house got broken into, and they're explaining like, that shit happened to us too. They break in our houses too. They jump our kids. They rob us too. So at the end of the day, it wasn't even like a racial thing. It was a lifestyle of living. So it took some of our OGs to get the community and get together and get these resources and work together to keep gang banging at a point where it's supposed to be in life. Like keep structure around. It kept it around. You had consequences and repercussions when you did shit back in the days. Now it's like I've been saying in my other review, these OGs, they getting high with their little homies. They, you know what I mean? They smoking dope. They snorting coke with their homies. You know what I mean? They straying their homies the wrong way. They just need somebody to hang with that's on their level. But you gonna bring the next person down, because at the end of the day, we all know real niggas don't rock like that. We don't get high. We don't do drugs. Like, people do got their own little shit they do. You got some people smoke their little weed and all that, drink their little drink, but like, that's normal. But far as you out there snorting coke, you know what I mean, popping all these different type of pills, and like, it's a fucked up dirty game. So that's how I'm trying to tell you, the drug culture changed the gang culture. So drugs has a lot to do with how the world is operating right now, the gang culture right now. So it's like other cities had racial attention when it started going. Like the Compton side, they had their beef with their Hispanics. You know, you got the F-13s, the East Coast, they had their little shit. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, in Watts, we didn't have that. We had mixed kids growing up in the culture from way back in the days. Like, we've been together as a force. But as I'm saying, like, gangs, they has changed. Like, as of the days today. Like, if you look at gangs today and look at gangs back then, like, they way different. It was like gangbanging was we had a purpose back then. And nowadays, it's like, nobody there to save nobody. And it's like, don't nobody want to save nobody. Look how the youth running around, man. They all on the internet showing their guns, dissing people's hoods, and telling on themselves, talking about how many bodies they got. Like, back in the days, that was on hush mode. Like people used to write graffiti on the wall back in the days, like, and cross a hood out and put their hood, and that's how you knew what hoods was beefing. And then if they really wanted you and they wanted at you, it was like your name was hit up on the wall and it was whacked out. Nigga, you was next. It's like now, they all on the internet, I'm gonna kill you, I'm gonna do this. Like they threaten each other, like you telling on yourself before you even do something. So at the end of the day, like I said, the gangs got fucked up through the drugs. The drugs fucked the game up. Like, man, these dudes, like, we were strong built men back in the days. Like, now it's like they grew up, they doing drugs. We didn't do all that shit, man. Like, they raised us to be powerhouses, spokesman, and leadership. Like, we leaders. It was too many leaders in my era. So that's why a lot of people, like, died and got life, because we was all like leaders and we all ran together. So that was a big old powerful force of gangbangers. We came rapid. Like, it was like we went through the juvenile halls. That's how we got to know each other. All the bad niggas was going to jail fighting, and all the niggas, certain niggas getting marked out, niggas turning down feds. So we already knew who the marks was, and we went to school with majority of them. So nowadays, like I said, the culture has changed. We gonna jump into this other clip so we could change the direction of the conversation right now. So tap into this clip, and then we gonna zero back in on this. Tap in.
The 20-year-old is dead. He was pronounced this morning at 4:30, and the other victim, the survivor, was shot in the head.
Just another typical day in the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department gang unit. The walls are filled with photos of dead gang members, and there's room for more.
This has been going on since the turn of the century, and the only difference is that the activities have increased to such a degree that it's catastrophic in nature.
Gang-related killings in the city of Los Angeles are down from last year. That's because many of the black gangs continue to honor a truce that was forged during the riots. Such is not the case in the county. Latino and Asian gangs are on a record pace for homicides because the gang population is growing and truce is not in their vocabulary.
Now y'all see, like I say, this is a different angle of the situation. Like, this type of stuff has been going on forever. Like, people been getting knocked down forever. Like 10 times worse back in the days. Like, because people was really out there doing that. Now the new generation, they have this internet shit where they can hide behind and do all this shit and this and, you know, get their face known. And I guess that's the new way of getting yourself out there, getting a name for yourself. So, but back in the days, like I was saying, it was different. But people are still missing the message. Like, the police been the main enemies. They've been the main targets. Like, they've been targeting gangbangers. They've been targeting the low-income areas of every community. Like, if you look at it back in the day, like they explained to you, they was explaining, if you watch them old movies like Boys in the Hood and all that, when he was explaining the property values that surround us, like, they got liquor stores on every corner, right? So they wanted everybody to be drunks and thought like that's what we were supposed to do because we watched the older people doing the shit. So as it went on, and as you see now, a lot of people fell victim to the bullshit. They changed the game. They taking the liquor stores down and putting 7-Elevens everywhere. They tearing like projects down. They tearing certain houses and apartments down and rebuilding it and making the community like at a high price living to where now these people done fell into this bullshit to where they're not in a position to pay this rent or, you know what I mean, live in that community anymore. They're getting pushed out. So that's where I'm talking about where, you know, the real enemy was the police because they was working with the politicians to get the shit where they wanted it to be. So now living is like at its all high. That's why everybody materialistic right now. Everybody want to feel like they rich, fake like they rich, wear the jewelry, you know what I mean, get little Gucci clothes, get all these PPP loans and fake like they got it all. So it all boils down to the drugs, the culture, and the OGs, which you displayed to the youngsters growing up, generations after generations. So now as I speak of today, I'm trying to tell you people like there's nothing out there, it's not worth it, it's watered down, it's bullshit. So if you wasn't born into it, then it ain't for you. If you chose it or the streets chose you, then you in a fucked up position. So we gonna get into this next clip and we gonna get deeper back into the situation and come at it from a different angle. So tap into this clip and we gonna zero back in on the situation. Tap in.
Gang violence in Los Angeles. More than a dozen dead every week. Neighborhood battles about drugs, turf, loyalty among 100,000 Crips and Bloods.
To the outside, untrained eye, it looks like just chaos, crazy. But to us, we know how we got to this point. The death of a brother is enough to motivate to kill.
Bone is a Blood, a general in the war. Many with his status are jailed or dead.
And Babyface he was shot with a AK in the car.
The graffiti tracks the vicious cycle of murder and retaliation. Bone insists that's the only way to settle these decade-long feuds.
Now, as y'all see, like I say, they're explaining like the writings on the wall, the names, and how the things go. So, as you see, it was happening on the Blood side, the Crip side, the South side, and also the other outside, you know what I mean, gang coaches that joined the force. But at the end of the day, it boiled down to the OGs, the big dogs from back in the days all the way to coming down. So a lot of them gave up on it and a lot of them just fell victim to the streets. And that's why a lot of people used to tell me like they was older, so they considered themselves an OG, a big homie, a big dog. So it's like, to me, if you was just around smoking crack, doing all that bullshit, and you might have did a few things back in the days, but that didn't benefit the community or the youth. It benefited you as getting a name for you, and you made a name for yourself, and you let that shit fall. So at the end of the day, I can't embrace you as my big homie just because you older than me and you feel like, oh, I was here before you. Yeah, you might be an older cat, but I don't look at those type of cats as like OGs and leaders from the hood or somebody that you could get some game from. You know, because a lot of them dudes, they're still stuck in the fucked up cycle. They still hanging around youngsters and they promoting gang violence and all the bullshit, and half of them ain't never did nothing. You know what I mean? Names ain't in the books, but at the end of the day, you have to pay attention to what you're doing. And nowadays, like, I'm here to tell you just from self-experience, it's not worth it. Like, as y'all see, majority of the rappers, they're coming up and they're trying to build their reputation off their game. So a lot of people is embracing all this beef and watching all these deaths occur. So it's still, you know what I mean, got something to do with the streets. It still got something to do with gangs. It's all about how you carry yourself and how you conduct yourself. So if you're an OG out there and you holding it down and you speaking some positive shit to your community and your youth, know what I mean? I salute you. Know what I mean? Take my hat off to you. But the ones that's around, sitting around, just still doing the same shit, rolling around, you on the crystal, you one of them new era, you done start doing the crystal with the new generation. And you riding around dusty, dirty, rolling up on people and, know what I mean, trying to shoot some game or talk to people. Like, don't nobody want to see that, man. You need to go sit down, get yourself together, and you know the structure that we grew up off of. We was born and raised off of structure, and to not be weak-minded. So if you out there and you on drugs and you consider yourself a big homie, you not a big homie. You just an older nigga. And no disrespect to nobody, but that's just the way it is. Like, it is what it is. Like, you become somebody and you become this, like, eye figure of your hood, and people watch you, and then they watch you just fall, and people like, God damn, like, what the fuck happened to him? So, for you young dudes that's coming up, and you glorifying these dudes, and these people is not showing you how to build your credit, get you no property, get you a job, take care of your kids, know what I mean? Don't let your family down. Stay loyal, stick to the G code, then you learning the wrong things, because all the other stuff, it comes with the lifestyle. But if you don't got this loyalty embedded inside of you, and you ain't raised by no real G's, then you gonna fall victim to the streets just like the rest of these cats are, like these young rappers are, and these young kids are, and some of these old heads are still, know what I mean, coming home from prison and promoting violence and getting caught up into the gang culture again. So, good looking for watching this one, know what I mean? We have to tap in on the gangs. And I'm speaking for LA County, street gangs, the real OGs out there, know what I mean? Grab your community and grab you a few cats. I know you can't grab them all, but grab the ones you could grab and try to steer them the right way. Time to start coming together and steering them to the right road. Help these dudes get jobs, help these dudes get their driver's license, help these dudes, know what I mean, create a lifestyle that can take care of their kids so their kids can benefit off of it when they get older. But like I said, good looking for tapping in, and stay tuned for the next one. Hit that like and that subscribe button if you haven't yet. And you know, if not, it is what it is. Like OG Bobby Johnson said in that movie South Central, it's an OG call. I'm keeping it.
This is an OG call.
Salute.
I'm keeping it.